All right, what's up, Clemson Nation? Guys, talk a little bit about the last 2 weeks and Georgia Tech coming up. Obviously, I didn't make a video last week. I was very close to, and it was going to be a large rant video similar to the Auburn games video. Um, First of all, Auburn's not as bad as we thought, and second of all, that game was as bad as we thought. Clemson Troy 30-24 win. The offense and defense plays good until the last two before they get lackluster. Offense just doesn't care. It's just a lazy performance, an absolutely lazy performance. Receivers that are wide open dropping the ball. The effort wasn't there. Deshaun was overthrowing people. I mean, the team just looked like they didn't care about playing that day. There's no business for Troy to be within 5 touchdowns of Clemson. But props to them for keeping fighting. Just one of the worst games I've watched Clemson play. This week, South Carolina State fixed a lot of the problems. Can't really determine too much because South Carolina State is, just they're a decent FBS team or FCS team, but they just did not have the talent to even come close to keeping up with Clemson. But as far as just the actual throws and catches, there's some great catches. Deion Kane made an absolutely amazing catch. Deshaun Watson, great throw to McLeod. Even Schussler's was getting in there, throwing some good throws. Deshaun, first string offense, didn't play but about 4 or 5 drives. Up 31-0 at the end of the first quarter. Then we could cruise. That we saw a lot of improvements on the stuff we were worried about on offense, just as far as accuracy and not dropping the ball, because that was the two main killers in the Troy game. Offensive line played horrible in the Troy game too. Still need a lot of improvement from the offensive line. They didn't do great. They didn't do great. The first string offensive line. A lot of improvement has to be made there if we want to contend for a national championship this year. So we go on the road to Georgia Tech, the place where curses live for Clemson. Something about Atlanta at Bobby Dodd Stadium has just destroyed Clemson. You go back to, we have not won there since a 39-3 win in 2003. 2005, we lose by a point. 2007, we don't score a touchdown. We didn't score a touchdown in 2005 or 2007. 2009, come back from a 24-0 deficit. Phantom holding call wins the game for Georgia Tech. 2011, they end our undefeated season. 2014, Deshaun Watson about to go up 10-0. He gets hurt. Cole Stout comes in, throws a pick six. Game's over. We just never had it after that. It's just been an absolute curse playing in Bobby Dodd lately. And Georgia Tech looks a lot better this year than they did last year too. So it's definitely going to be a challenge. It's going to be tougher than the Auburn game, in my opinion. Going to be not tougher environment because it's going to be obviously probably about 60% Clemson fans there, but just a tougher game. It's going to really show what we're made of. We've gotten a good job of shutting down somewhat their attack. Last year we held them to very few rushing yards, I think, compared to what they normally get. I think Venables has done a good job of figuring out the triple option a pretty good bit, a lot more than Kevin Steele ever did. I expect the defense to play pretty good. Offense, I'm a little worried about. If this week they looked better, but we're going to have to do it on the road a lot better. Special teams, we're actually getting the ball in the back of the end zone. That's good. Field goal unit, it's still mediocre. We got a lot of improvements to make there too. Let's see. Louisville, Florida State, Louisville game coming up in a couple of weeks. Chance that's going to be game day. Louisville looks absolutely amazing. Just absolutely destroyed Florida State's souls. They absolutely destroyed everything Florida State could even hope of being this year. There's no chance Florida State's going to make the playoffs now. You don't get beat by 40 points and make the playoffs. So the Louisville games turned into the ACC game of the year. Clemson versus Louisville, I think, in my opinion, will probably be the game of the year as long as Clemson takes care of Georgia Tech this week. I fully expect us to. Clemson should absolutely be able to score at will against Georgia Tech. Their defense looked good against Vanderbilt, but it's Vanderbilt. You can't take too much from that. BC scored 2 touchdowns, if that tells you anything on these guys. Of course, that game was in Ireland, but, honestly, I'd love to see Clemson win by 2 touchdowns, but I'll be happy with just a touchdown win. It's a short week to prepare. Then we'll have a week and a half to prepare for Louisville. So it is what it is. Today, great game, 59-0. That's what we wanted to see. team has confidence moving forward now. It gave them confidence. It built a little bit of confidence after being so sloppy the first 2 weeks. The offense finally found a rhythm. So I'm going to go ahead and give a prediction of Clemson versus Georgia Tech. I'm going to go 34-20. Clemson wins that game. I will say we win by 2 touchdowns. I predicted a bigger win against Auburn too. Didn't happen. Obviously, a bigger win against Troy that didn't happen. So we'll see. We'll see. Georgia Tech Clemson game. I mean, to end this streak, the only thing that's really holding us back, you know, we've done everything but win a national championship, and we've gotten to the national championship. Dabo's broken all these streaks. Losing streak to South Carolina, Florida State. All these losing streaks ended that big losing streak against Auburn. We've won 3 straight. Dabo's won 3 straight against them now. The losing streak at Georgia Tech is next, and then obviously we got to end that 10-year drought against Florida State and Tally. I haven't won there since 2006, but we win in Atlanta. That's going to be another big uh, jump for this program. It's just a very embarrassing losing streak in Bobby Dodd, and really has been a lot of just what the heck moments that have led to it. So let's just beat Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's been a thorn in our side. It's time to take care of them and keep on moving towards the playoff. Go Tigers!